Today, guys, we're going to take a look at the Galeri air compressor set, the dual drive series G918. I'm so glad they sent me this. I needed a new compressor so bad. See you guys inside. Hey guys, welcome to this video. As I said, we are going to unbox and take a my first look at the Galeri air compressor set, the dual drive series GT918. Now this air compressor is Galeri's big boy air compressor, and it is meant for two airbrushes to be connected at one time. So basically my compressor is just dying, and my counterparts there at Galeri gladly helped me out and sent me this compressor to try out and just to kind of see what I thought of it. So we're going to get this out of the box. We're going to take a look at this compressor, and hopefully it is going to save the day at my desk of my day-to-day airbrushing and just air compressor needs, because I don't just use an air compressor for an airbrush. I use it to help dry glue, dry paint, even with getting tape to adhere. Sometimes the air compressor can be just a handy tool to blow air on it. Also, just kind of sometimes cleaning. I've been known to put soapy water in my airbrush and run it through, and even clean old models with it. So use it as a duster. So the air compressors are kind of the heart of that entire air rig that we try to do. And this one is going to hopefully take the centerpiece of my machines. So before we get this out of the box, if you guys like this content or interested in more air compressor content or anything like this, hit that thumbs up button. But if you're new here, definitely hit that subscribe button, as we do all kinds of stuff with air compressors, 3D printing, paintbrushes, painting, even building models. So without further ado, guys, let's get this out of the box. All right, guys, so we got it out of the box. You can see this thing is a beast. 1 liter tank, quiet performance, auto start and stop. And again, as I said, it's meant for two airbrushes. You can see two separate pressure gauges, so each one can have its own individual airflow, where it connects in right here. Right now, one of the valves is closed off. I don't intend to leave that closed. I intend to have two airbrushes on here. So very nice compressor, very good weight. I like the feet. That is a plus on one of these. And you can see the filters trying to roll away here. And they do send along the water catch filters. So again, what does this do? This catches the water so it doesn't build up in your tank or your air lines, and helps keep things nice and dry, and then you can bleed it off and drain it out. That way you're blowing dry air, not wet air, when you're going through painting. Came with airbrush holders that go into the top here, and also with two air hoses. So very simple design, very sleek. And of course, the most important thing, guys out there everywhere that hate me, read the book. That way we get the best performance out of this compressor and best maintenance out of this compressor as well. So I'm going to go put this together, get this thing ready to start pushing an airbrush, and we will see what we've got inside. So catch up with you here in a bit, guys. All right, guys, so I've got my Galeri GT918 hooked up to my Galeri CS36. So just out of curiosity, let's push some air. Now, one thing I did do is I lowered the pressure. Kind of hard to see there, but I dropped it down. By default, it's at 50 PSI, and you guys can see that I've got the water collectors connected. Now, a lot of people will go in the comments about these. That's not where they go, or I should get a U-bend and all that kind of stuff. I have found these work really well, because one thing you don't want to happen is a lot of water to get in here, period. And what I do is, when I notice some water in there, I tilt it up and I press the button here and I express it and get the water out. So if you let that thing get full, you really messed up. Now, one of the things too to keep in mind with this compressor is right there is a second drain. You should check these every once in a while. Turn the compressor off and make sure that it is empty. So I'm gonna turn the compressor on. Let's see how this sounds for the first time. Now, this guy is on its way up to almost 60 PSI. That's where it stopped. And one of the things you can do here, I shouldn't set this on the side, I'm gonna tilt it, is you can pull up and start adjusting your pressure. Now, me personally, I like low pressure. I don't care for high pressure. It has never been my friend. And plus, when I'm airbrushing, which you can feel, you can hear, there's a lot of air coming out of that gun. That is not something I want. So I'm going to turn this down. Still pretty high. So I like to airbrush personally anywhere between 10 and 15 psi. That is my preferred airbrushing pressure. If I'm doing this right, that should be turning down the pressure, which it looks like it is. Or did that just make it worse? Nope, we're staying up between 50 and 60 psi in the tank, which is, for airbrushing, that is a very hard temperature. So let me work with this for a few minutes. Let me get that adjusted down. Figured out what was going on. So basically, this part was not pulled up all the way and was not allowing me to adjust my pressure downward. So you can see I'm down about 25 psi right now. I'm gonna turn it a little bit more and drop it down between the 10 and 20 where I like. And you can definitely feel, well, that dropped it a little too far. It's right at 10 psi now. You can definitely feel a very different push. That's what we want to see. So, and I love that the other side can be up at 30 or 40 and be a completely different value compared to the other side. Very easily adjusted once you pull up enough to adjust it. But all in all, this is a very nice compressor. I like the dual guns. I don't have to constantly be doing quick releases, which means 2 guns connected all at the same time. If I'm doing a base coat and a detail, I can have both brushes connected, and I can easily be doing that. I love, for someone who's just getting into it, quick disconnect, store your brush. Beautiful, beautiful thing right there. Just letting you store your brush. And then just the simplicity of the pressure gauges, the simple location of the power button right here, right above the compressor itself, right in there. And just all in all, a very nice compact design. That's the kicker to this, to me, is a compact design, a 1 liter tank, and just, honestly, for the noise value, it's not that bad. Actually, it's really kind of good for a compressor that's going to be used a lot. Then 2 air brushes connected at one time. I do use quick releases, and this is not one of them, but the quick release I have actually has an air valve on it as well. That's one of the ways sometimes I can just quickly control while I'm airbrushing and use my airbrush. Now again, these water collectors, some folks directly connect them right to the gun to create a bigger handle. I don't like that feel, and I find they can be just as effective right there. So, really nice compressor. Definitely glad to have it in the shop. Galeri, thank you for your support and getting me back to airbrushing, because it's 2025. We got some big projects to do. So thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new here. And again, if you liked it, hit that like button. My Galeri link and my affiliate link and my discount code are down in the description down below. So thank you guys, and we'll catch you in the next video.